guys. Sorry, that's not what I say now. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jamila. I talk faith, self-love, and any other thing in between. Today we're going to be talking about Christian wokeness and cancel culture. Please, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so to help me grow. Thank you very much. So into the topic of today, I recently started to see this video about an American Christian musician who had his wedding pictures posted on Instagram, and a lot of people had a lot of things to say, and a lot of people, obviously most of his followers would be Christians, were being judgmental, so to speak, and saying this shouldn't have been posted. People just had their own different opinions, and some were not pretty at all. And then another thing I also saw was where Yvonne Orji and Hailey Bieber were having a conversation on Christianity and their faith and how it has been for them in Hollywood. And again, people started to post things, oh, are these Christians enough? Is this Christianity? Is this, is this that? And it just begs me to wonder, we're Christians, we've been called to love. We've been called, even the Bible said we shouldn't be judgmental. So what has happened? Why have we become so woke that we now want to judge people, castigate people for things they do or not do that we perceive to be wrong or not socially appropriate? So before we go any further, just to give us a little background to where my own angle, where I'm coming from, is a story in the Bible in John chapter 8 verse 1 to 11. It's a long read. I can't do that. I will just post the verse up for you guys. So it talks about when the Pharisees and other men led a woman who they claimed they caught committing adultery to Jesus, so that Jesus would say, okay, what punishment should be meted unto her? And Jesus then says to them, after a period of silence, says to them, okay, he who is without sin should cast the first stone. And that's how these people kept dropping their stones one after the other, and then to the end nobody was there, it was just Jesus and the woman, they were there. So now that's from the Bible, and that's the Bible's perspective. So now in 2019, Obama had a conversation with some young people in his Obama Foundation yearly event or so, and this was what he said about woke culture. Now he said this idea, I'm just going to read it out but I'll post it down. He said this idea of purity, and you're never compromised, and you're always politically woke and all that stuff, you should get over that quickly. The world is messy. There are ambiguities, he continued. People who do really good stuff have flaws. People who you are fighting may love their kids and share certain things with you. I do get a sense sometimes now among certain young people, and this is accelerated by social media, there's this sense sometimes of the way of me making change is to be as judgmental as possible about other people. And that's enough. Like if I tweet or hashtag about how you didn't do something right or used the wrong verb, then I can sit back and feel pretty good about myself. Cause man, you see, how woke was I? I called you out. That's not activism. That's not bringing about change. If all you're doing is casting stones, you're probably not going to get that far. That's easy to do. And yes, it's easy for anybody to pick a stone to say, oh, this person did wrong. Oh, this person is not representing Christ. Oh, this person is not doing this. This person is not doing that. Okay, you that is representing Christ and being judgmental. Does it make sense? Because we cannot be like the world. We should not copy what the world is doing. So for me, I would always say, instead of going about saying, okay, and you shouldn't have done this, you shouldn't have done that, I just sat down to actually say, okay, in your sincere mind or your sincere heart of hearts, say, okay, can I pray for this, my brother, that I perceive, because now it is our perception, I perceive is doing wrong, or I perceive they don't understand Christ as I understand Christ. And remember, we are all in different phases of this relationship with Christ. My beginning might not be the way your own beginning is, and because we start at different levels, Jesus even made it so easy for us, simple and short. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your mind, and then you love your neighbor as you love yourself. I was reading part of my, as I was researching for this video, I also read an article by a Catholic church, and on how they talked about being woke and all that, and they used the example of, okay, you're in a traffic light, somebody passes through, like when it's almost red, and just goes phew, and then you're in your car being judgmental and saying, oh, this person is a bad person, this person is a dangerous person. And there are times that you too, for one reason or the other, probably because, I don't know, life happens, things, as this Obama said, there are ambiguities. It's not like, oh, it's a straight line. Yes, I know as Christians we've been called to certain things. This is how we're supposed to live. This is how we're supposed to do this. But again, we've not been called to a life of intolerance. We've been called to a life of love. We've been called to a life of mercy. Now, one thing with this wokeness and this thing is, people don't even know how to forgive. Like somebody posts something 10 years ago and you want them to lose a job today because of their thoughts and their beliefs 10 years ago. For some reasons, you believe they cannot change, because if they said it 10 years ago, they are still the same people. Even if they've not changed, you've not been called to a life of judgment. We have been called as Christians to a life of love, to a life of mercy, not to a life of judging people and saying who is right or who is not right, who should have won this, oh, a Christian shouldn't do this, Christian shouldn't do that. Now, I'm not saying we should encourage bad behavior. There are two different things. There's a difference between encouraging bad behavior and being judgmental. There are times where we need to call a spade, but you can call a spade in love, in mercy, in saying, my brother, my sister, this thing you did, but, do you understand? But now we're just saying negative things about people. Oh, they don't represent Christ. Oh, you represent Christ because you're judging somebody for what exactly? So my brothers, my sisters, beautiful people, I just said to talk about this thing because that's really been in my heart for long, and I just felt we should talk about it. See that we talk about self-love, because again, we don't know what these things do to people, the mental toll it takes on them, really. So instead of going to follow the mob and judge people and say, oh, this said that, what if you go back and just say, okay, what if I just say a prayer for my brother? What if I say a prayer for my sister? That the revelation I have at this level of my Christian faith, that God will help them to get to that point too and see these things as they are. And sometimes you could still address these issues, but probably not directly attacking them for what they are doing or what they did. You can say it in a different way and the message will still be loud and clear, especially if you have a platform where people listen to you, people hear you. All right, beautiful people, I hope I have helped you to kind of rethink how we look at people and how we look at people, especially people in the public. You know, they are going through a lot of things that some of us can never understand or will never understand because of where they are and what they are doing. So please, instead of being judgmental, just say a prayer, and I want to believe God will touch them if there's need for them to be touched. All right, people, have a beautiful day. Please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. Bye-bye.